I'm not feeling injury today. I don't have a lot to tell you other than 2 weeks have passed since I discovered that I am blocked by Clarity Cosmetics, and I told you I'm gonna update you, and I'm still blocked. So nothing has happened. And actually this morning, so today is January 8th, by the way, happy International Women's Day, although when you see it, it's not Women's Day anymore, but just, you know, in the spirit. Um, I was feeling a little bit clowny, so I actually answered Clarity on their email that they sent me 2 weeks ago, and I wrote, "Hi, did you hire a private investigator, or what is taking so long? It's been 2 weeks and I'm still blocked. My audience really loves the truth about how you treat customers." And then a very, very, a very provocative smiley. Great work on silencing critical views and cover yourself in only sugar-coated comments of people who desperately want your attention who so desperately want your attention that they praise anything. Happy censoring, happy Women's Day. Sorry. I'm done. So I don't care if they ever unblock me or if they answer. You know what? Screw your answer. Keep it for yourself. I just want to tell you what a shady business Clarity Cosmetics is. And the thing just is, and that is something that people tend to forget maybe, is when they start to delete comments. And I feel like I really have to point that out here, because I was attacked for criticizing a black woman owned business. Honestly, I didn't even know that Clarity Cosmetics was one, because honestly, I don't fucking care. I don't care if you have dark skin, pale skin, purple skin, or if you paint yourself green, what kind of social identity you have, what you identify as. I don't care if you are part of the queer community, of a Jewish community, whatever beliefs you have. If you silence critical views in your comments, delete things, and block customers as soon as they criticize you, I will call the fuck out of you. It's funny how people get offended by like secondhand just because I say that I think these tactics are shady. And honestly, these tactics are shady within Clarity Cosmetics, they're shitty within Pat McGrath, and they're shitty in any other brand who does this. So I think we can wrap the topic here. It's done, it's gone. Clarity Cosmetics is a shady business, and I, for myself, will not talk about them now anymore, and I will also not show their products anymore. I do have 2 palettes. I will not throw them away in the terms of not being super wasteful. And you know, I remember when that road thing was, or what? No, it was not the road thing. What was there? It was some kind of blah 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 blah. We're canceling now this, and people were filming themselves how they destroy the pallets. This is wasteful and dumb, so I keep mine as long as I enjoy using them, but you will not hear a suggestion or recommendation towards this shady brand. So I would say, now that we ticked that off the list, let's move into the makeup stuff that got announced, released, whatever this week. Honestly, I feel like this week, once again, was not only slow, it was borderline boring. I think I have only one super big news, and that is actually about Pat McGrath. So let's first start with this one. This is not Pat McGrath. This is Charlotte Tilbury. There are a lot of new products coming, and to be honest, this is so hardcore Valentine's inspired. Like, look at that heart-shaped thing. This is the Airbrush Love Blush. So I guess it's, yeah, it looks like the one side is the setting powder, the airbrush, well, the brightening powder, and then a blush, which is the weirdest combo ever. Like, why would I combine a setting powder with a blush? That does not make any sense, but okay, you do you. Then the other thing, it looks a bit like a lip palette here. And then I also found this screenshot here. Someone screenshotted it, I think, from a video that Charlotte Tilbury did like backstage or so. These are the Unreal Blush Healthy Glow Sticks, and they come in the same packaging as the Unreal Skin Tint. That is basically just the stick format of the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I actually just used mine up, and I will not repurchase this because the formula, honestly, as the longer I used it, the worse it got. And in the end of this stick, I feel like my skin was so dry looking every time I used this, so I will not repurchase this. And if that is the same stick formula in these blushes, I will be very, very mad. But if these are really glowy blushes, like I'm talking formula-wise like the House Labs Glassy blush sticks, then I'm interested at least in these blush sticks. The colors here look nice. What I am interested immediately here is the lilac in the center and the red and the dark red, like the two on the outer left part when we look at the upper picture, or the outer right part on the lower picture. Honestly, I would bet money on this that the first color here, or the last color in the upper row, is Pillow Talk. That is 100% a Pillow Talk color. But again, the purple and the two reds, they look very interesting. Let's move on to the next release. And Instagram is so dumb. Every time I leave the app from my saved folder to go to another picture because of the blush pic I had in another folder, it just resets Instagram. It's just so annoying. But what I have here are the new shades of the MAC Strobe Beam Liquid Blush. And I don't know why I didn't talk about them last week, because I'm pretty sure I had saved them for last video, but they were gone. Maybe the profile was deleted, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 shades. They launched already March 1st, and I bought two. I bought the shade Magic Aura and Unsweetened. Honestly, these swatches here look horrible. They really do not look good, but I have a MAC artist that I follow, or we follow each other, and we just got into talk. His name, by the way, is Lokale Katastrophe. He's a German MAC artist, and I saw him applying these, and I was like, you look so sexy. Like, not only the blushes, I mean, he's fabulous. So I'll link his profile down below. Just go give him a follow, because mwah, amazing his looks. But they looked really, really good. And then I just went into other application videos, and these shades look so much better than they look actually in these swatches. Aside from these liquid blushes, MAC also came out with two new shades. Let me grab mine here, of the famous Strobe Cream. I have the shade Pink Light here, and the two new shades are Bronze Light and UV Light. And UV Light is a purple, so I grabbed actually UV Light because I want to compare it to the Isamaya color corrector in the violet shade. Maybe they are similar, I don't know, maybe they look the same, but you don't have the like fuzzy way to milk it out of the packaging. We will see. We have another new release from What's Up Beauty. And, you know, the more that I look into this brand, the more confused I get. I remember that by the end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024, somewhat in that weird time space where you just don't know what day, what year, what week it is, they announced a new eyeshadow palette coming for the beginning of 2025. We have now mid-March of 2025, and honestly, it's like the first quarter is already gone in 2025. Like, when are you going to release that eyeshadow palette? Here we have now setting powders, and I'm not saying that setting powders are not good products and that brands shouldn't branch out into this, but nobody in this post here is criticizing the shade range. If any other mainstream brand, I'm looking for example at Sisley with 30 shades, people are still crying about a bad shade range. And let's be honest, This shade range here is bad. This is 4 setting powders, 4 tinted setting powders. Like, what the fuck is this? Plus, they are so warm. I mean, even I, with my super pale skin, I couldn't wear the palest because the lightest powder here looks freaking yellow. All the comments underneath the post are positive. I am sensing deleting critical comments once again. So I'm eyeing this a bit, but I give it a big side eye. So this, I think, was the biggest announcement of the last week, that Louis Vuitton is coming out with a makeup line. And my initial thought was, oh, why the fuck? We don't need another designer brand. Of course I'm interested, yes, but I never had this thought in my head and be like, oh my god, I wish that Louis Vuitton would do makeup. Because not that their bags and clothing are considered cheap luxury, but hey, that's a different thing. But then it kept on coming and coming, and guess who the creative director is of that makeup line? Ba-da-da-dam, it's Pat McGrath. So I'm now interested in this. And I got so many messages of people writing me, oh, did you see that? Did you see that? Thank you, I did. I always appreciate when you think of me when you see these news. I feel very, very important when you do this, by the way. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. And people were a bit, that was confusing to me. Some people were just sending this as info, but some people were then putting an extra comment saying, yeah, then now Pat McGrath can close down to the brand. And I'm like, why should they close down? Yeah, you cannot concentrate on two things. You definitely can. Like, Lisa Eldridge does the exact same thing. She's the creative director of Lancôme, I think. Oh, please don't quote me on that, but I think it's Lancôme. And she has her own brand. And some people were then saying like, yeah, but Lisa Eldridge is a different person. Oh, really? Another comment that I got was that Lancôme is a more established brand. Louis Vuitton is just starting over. Yes, that is definitely a point to consider. And that the releases of Lisa Eldridge are much better curated. And honestly, I don't agree on that. I haven't also really thought about this, but I don't think they're on the same level. That's one thing to be said, but I don't want to say that one brand has more thought through and more curated releases than the other. They are just vibing in two different dimensions. That is, I think, the thing to think about here. And why shouldn't that work? The thing that people like to forget is just because Pat McGrath is the CEO of Pat McGrath Labs does not mean that she is super duper involved in the brand. If I'm not mistaken, I found somewhere an article a while ago. The brand has two bigger investors that are, they do not have like the main shares of the brand, if I understood that correctly, but they have a big money investment in them. So the like, I don't know, the finances are a bit different. The whole situation in the brand is different than compared, for example, to a Lisa Eldridge brand, I guess. And Pat McGrath as a person was always praised and known and loved for her creativity, for her breakthrough thinking. I mean, let's just think about last year. The glass skin, the puppet look, the doll face look with the mask that she did, and it was so good. That creativity is long gone from the brand Pat McGrath Labs because, and that's my suspicion here, because of the financial situation of the one with the investors, and that the whole structure is just different. She's just a name and that's it. But being the creative director of a completely new luxury brand can give more opportunities because you can basically start over, maybe even with a new budget. And Just right before I started filming, my good friend Sue sent me an article, or like the info of an article where it is announced what exactly Pat McGrath created for the brand, and it says Louis Vuitton and Pat McGrath have created 55 lipsticks, 10 lip balms, and 8 eye palette, all of which are launching this fall as the luxury brand introduces La Beauté Louis Vuitton, with McGrath as the house's first cosmetic creative director. I'm honest with you, I personally think if we have the same creativity level, the same way of maybe even breaking known standards, as Pat McGrath did when she started with the motherships years ago. I mean, it was a completely new thing that she did with the formula, with the color story, with the format. I think that this new brand could be a fucking hit. And I am very, very excited for fall this year. I will start saving some YouTube monies because it seems like when the color stories speak to me, at least 2 of the eye palettes should come home with me. Talking about eye palettes, by the way, this is the new Betty palette from Lisa Eldridge. We talked about this actually weeks ago because it got leaked on Reddit. I actually should have owned this already because I ordered it, and sadly the package was not picked up by the carrier here in Germany on time. So when you see the video, I probably have it already, but I wish I would have gotten this before filming so that I could have done some videos beforehand, but I didn't. It's an all shimmer palette, and I don't know honestly why I picked it up, because this is nothing revolutionary, but for whatever reason, the Lisa Eldridge palettes, they just satisfy a need in me that I would call the basic bitch need. And I think that this is the basic bitch version of these ethereal glowy shades. I saw already that my friend Danielle from the channel Fedora Beauty has it. She already put up a reel with it, and we also had a quick chat about this, and she said that these photos here from the palette, they do not do the justice of the beauty and of the sparkliness of this palette. So I, as I'm filming this, am super excited to receive it. And let me, by the way, know, how do you want to see this incorporated? Do you think it's worth making an own video of this, or should I include this in like my speed reviews? Let me know how you want to see a review on this palette. Then we talked about MAC already, but we also have a new mascara. This is the MAC Elevated, MAC Stack Elevated. The brush looks a bit different than the original MAC Stack brush, so I'm curious if this is going to work the same. I am kind of interested. I do have a lot of mascara here. I just stocked up on my MAC Stack, so I don't have any needs for new mascara right now, but I might try it out later. So, you know, as always, today when I'm filming this, it is currently 11 a.m. Nomad Cosmetics has not revealed the color story of their new eyeshadow palette that is called the Fairytale Europe. I am, first of all, I want to tell you that I appreciate everybody who commented on the Nomad thing last week in the You Don't Need That, that stuff. And someone was saying that they saw Easter bunnies on the palette and they hope that this is going to be a reveal in April and they just announce it early. Nomad Cosmetics has always the same schedule. I don't know since when, but it is always the same. They start a guessing game on a Monday. On a Friday, you will see the outside of the palette. On Saturday, the color story reveal is. On Monday, the winners get announced. And on that Tuesday, then, is the going live on the website. So Nomad does not announce a palette and teases a palette without starting it immediately, and the guessing game is always the week before the launch. So yeah, the bunny, by the way, has nothing to do with Easter, so we have a fairy tale inspired palette. And honestly, the thing is, all the teaser that I saw from this palette, they were pink, they were pastel, they were fairy core-ish. So not me. This is so fucking not me. But the palette is inspired by a German castle. It's Schloss Neuschwanstein. It is one of the most beautiful things that Germany has to offer, and it was the inspiration for the castle of a lot of Disney like fairy tales. I think it was exactly the inspiration for the Beauty and the Beast castle. No. Not the Beauty and the Beast. The Sleeping Beauty castle is inspired by Neuschwanstein here in Germany. It is just kind of tickling my proudness sensors. I don't know why, but I have never been there, so I never saw that castle live, but honestly, the palette looks, from the outside, from what I see here, very, very on point, and I am excited because of the theming with German and the castle. I am 100% sure that the color story will include a lot of pinks, pastels, light blues, dreamy greens, something like that. So we need to talk about the color story and my final decision next week. But as of now, I think this is probably a purchase that I will do during their Black Friday sales. And last but not least, Half Magic Beauty came out with the Crystal Butter Lip Balms. Let's talk about the balms in general. The shades, the glitter shades, I'm happy that this end of 90s, early 2000 vibe is coming back. I'm not mad about this, but I have a bit of a problem with Half Magic Beauty's marketing right now. First of all, they chose to do a bigger campaign, I think on TikTok, with Nikki Tutorials. Nikki Tutorials used to be, in my opinion, one of the most trustworthy and biggest influencers years ago. But now that she is on TikTok and that she has realized that behaving like Michaela Noguera gives you even more money, I'm just disgusted by her. She's not disclosing any ads. She's constantly doing ads. She's screaming at the camera. I just can't see it anymore. I'm fed up with her, and she's, to me, at the same level now, like Michaela, like Jacqueline. I'm done with this. So I even commented underneath a post of Donny Davy from the behind the scenes and said, you could have chosen trustworthy creators, but you chose to work with her. That's very sad, or something like that. I don't know if that comment still exists. Maybe it got deleted. Should we look that up? Oh, it's still there. By the way, if you want to check whether your comments get deleted or not, you cannot see this with the profile you made the comment. The comment is there with the profile, but I have another private profile that I use to check stuff like this. But it's still there, so that's nice. But again, I am a bit because of that. Plus, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm about to get my period. I'm a little bit PMS-y. I don't know, but I don't like their marketing right now. I think this is given Hailey Bieber vibes. And that to me is just basically the word of that freaking entitled bitch from school that thinks they're better than you vibe. Because I love a sassy marketing. For example, the way Charlotte Tilbury, passive-aggressive, mocked up this weird brand that is constantly like ripping off. What's the brand called? It was an Australian one that I don't know. They're like basically copying the products one by one. I completely forgot how the brand's name was. That's how irrelevant they are. But Charlotte Tilbury, what she did was she started a little like marketing campaign where she said was, yeah, this cannot be copied, this cannot be duped. While in that video, she was printing out like pictures of the Hollywood Flawless filter. Same with MAC. They did a sassy campaign against Charlotte Tilbury where they said, we don't care for the pillow talk. We're sending the nudes. That is sassy marketing. That is not insulting or anything. That's not calling out or so. But what Half Magic Beauty is doing, they are finger pointing in their videos towards other brands with glittery lipsticks and are basically bashing them. In one post it says, yeah, we don't overspray, or this is not an overspray as others do. And then in that video you see like snippets from other creators who are testing other glittery lipsticks. And all I can think of was, I hope she has permission of those creators to use these snippets. Like, I don't know what it is, why this is stirring up so bad in me, but there is a difference between sassy marketing and just marketing that is just throwing a shade towards other brands. That is a marketing I don't like. That's not sassy at all. In one of the videos, she's even comparing and cutting into the Balm and says competitor €65 with the black and the gold packaging. We know that this is Tom Ford. I know that Tom Ford has glittery oversprays, and it says all the shimmer with no gimmicky oversprays. The words underneath the post that I'm showing you says your basic lip balm could never. That is fine because it's not shading a brand or whatever. It's just saying that, hey, your normal lip balm is not as sparkly. That's completely fine. But do you know what I mean? Am I overreacting? I don't know, but I don't like the marketing approach on this. So that is it for this week's or last week's new releases. You know how it is. I am curious how I will like the color story of Nomad Cosmetics. I'm honestly a bit hyped for the Louis Vuitton thing, so I just hope that the Pat McGrath creativity spark will just burn the freaking house down. And last but not least, I want to address something that I was actually asked about a couple times now. I kind of sneakily changed the title of this video from "You don't need that shit" to "You don't need that stuff." The reason is quite easy. I got kind of like ad striked for the words shit in the title and in the thumbnail. It started with having like less monetization on the videos up to no monetization on the videos. That was honestly, I don't care because I like to do these videos. I like to swear and I don't wanna bow down or so, but then it started to affect the visibility of the channel, and my views got lower and lower and lower and lower. And I think that started already end of November, maybe beginning of December. In the beginning, I thought this must have this must be the reason because of the thumbnail for the Alamus that I did, but it didn't get better after that. There were some peaks in the viewership, but you know, when you're a creator, you have like a little dashboard and you can basically see how your views are evolving over time. And it was visible that there was like a point where usually the views, when you're a YouTuber, they slightly go higher and higher. They can stay the same in some days. Sometimes they do have a little bit of a dip, but the like organical growth leads to viewer counts that are rising the whole time. And there was like this point in that November to December timeline where it got constantly lower. Then I had some like peaks, and then it got lower, lower, and lower. Then I looked at this basically throughout the whole January still. I had some peaks, and then it got lower and lower and lower. And I eventually then decided to just try and change that one word in the title. I will not change the way I speak, or I didn't change the way I speak. I just changed shit to stuff. And guess what? since I did that, the views go higher and higher and higher. So I wouldn't care about the monetization point. That's okay. If the advertising partners think that by me saying shit that this will negatively affect people, okay, you do you, stupid American rules. I don't know what a problem you have with shits and boobs, but you do you. I mean, you have different problems in that country, but that's a whole different topic. Germany has problems too. But when the views get affected, I was a bit butthurt, and I have to. In Germany, you would say for this little sacrifice that you do, ein Tod muss man sterben, which translates to one death you have to die, and that basically means, yeah, if you want to have one thing, sometimes you just have to do a little sacrifice. You have to do something that might is not up your alley to just go for the better. And I decided to change shit into stuff, and as said, since then the views go up again. So hopefully that explains it. I don't make the rules. I think these rules are fucking stupid. And just to end the video, I would like to add some fucks here at the end. No, I will not say like fuck now 15 times just to annoy the YouTube algorithm here, the way they check these videos. But you know what I mean. But yeah, I think I kind of owed you that explanation. So thank you for those who were asking. Those, by the way, who were asking and who I explained this to were very understanding. So hopefully you are too. But let me know your thoughts on the releases, you know, always in the comments down below. By the way, I have exciting videos this week. Tomorrow you will get a bonus video. So on Tuesday you will see my review and looks with the Blend Bunny Beauty Below palette. On Wednesday, you will get a new video series with Terra Moon, and on Friday, I will have the review of the, let me grab it, the Florasa Serum Touch Foundation up for you. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out any of my cursing videos, and I see you soon.